Welcome to Irie-AT, Braille and Low Vision. Hi, Jeff here in the Irie-AT Product Review Center. Been hearing a lot lately about the CloverBook Pro, but there's two other CloverBook models, the CloverBook Plus and the CloverBook Lite. I've got a quick comparison video we put together for you. Find that right up here in the right-hand corner. Today we're going to take a closer look, take a deep dive into the CloverBook Lite. Give you more information about that and all the specific functions that it can do for you. Let's take a closer look at the CloverBook Lite from SiteCare. All right, first of all, let's look at the accessories that come, see everything that comes in the box here. So we have a nice protective case that has in it a manual and a cleaning cloth and a light block if you're trying to use it in front of a window or something. And you got your manual right there, Velcro to hold it in. You also have a shoulder strap, a nice shoulder strap. You can connect onto the case. You can carry it with the suitcase handle, or you can carry it with the strap. And then you also get the power charger, which I'll get into this in a minute and some of the advantages of this nice power charger that comes with it. So let's get into this guy. Just unzip the case. There's a couple of zippers. Lift up the flap. And there's a nice handle in here. It's really convenient. Be able to just carry it, lift it right out of there. It's only 5.3 pounds, so it's really easy to get out of there. I'll set that to the side just a moment. I'm going to point out this case. You have a nice bit of an indentation in the case here, so you can fit it in there. The CloverBook Lite just goes right in there, only fits one way. It's real easy to get in there, lift it out with the handle, and then this case is a nice protective case. It's still light and nice. Really cool little extra add-on here. So let's take a look at this guy here. First of all, we're going to use the handle again. The handle that I pulled it out of the case with. All I have to do is grab onto that. I'm going to put some fingers, a couple fingers on the tray and lift up. And when I get to the angle I want, I can go to whatever angle. And I can just lift out the screen. And I have a nice, comfortable reading angle. Put my reading materials underneath it. Read right through there. Makes it nice and easy. Now, one of the things, besides this being 5.3 pounds, nice and light, it's cool because you've got all these different positions that it can be in. If you say you're reading a cookbook or something, you want it straight up, you're standing up, or you're sitting at a desk. Maybe you have something that's tall, you need to stretch out the camera and reach it. Maybe you're doing hobbies and you need to write under there or tie a fly or whatever. You have a lot of different positions and it's easy to move them into it, but then it stays. It's not super hard to move it, but then it's not going to flop all over on you. So really cool design, just a few basic features to this. Other things that are cool about this, you've got a user replaceable battery. So right here, right on the bottom, I just flipped it up. I've got a little white button. I press that in and out comes the battery. Now I don't have to replace the whole device if the battery goes. Just get another one. There's even a charging station, separate charging station, extra batteries you can get. So nice feature on here. As long as I have it pointed or tipped over, I'll show you the rest of the bottom. We have our LED lights, which you can adjust those and turn those on and off. You have your camera right in the center, facing right down. I'll explain some of the advantages of that later. Battery and battery release button I showed. You have a handle for carrying it around, getting in and out of the case, other things, and then the speaker. All there right underneath the device. I'm going to get back to the power port here quickly, the power cord, and I'll show you. I got a standard plug it in. You can even adjust, you can get different tips for this and take it on trips with you if you want. But you have a round cord on here, which is key because you can turn it any number of ways to get it into the device, and you're not going to wreck the port. You also can't push it too hard and wreck the port. This is the #1 repair issue that we find, are wrecked ports. Often they connect into a main board and it can be a significant repair. This one, you're not going to wreck that. It's really good. We've even seen some that came in with this completely bent and broken in the unit. We could pull it out, the unit still worked fine. Just needed a new power cord. So really cool A lot of neat design elements to this device, just besides being just really light and portable and easy to use. So let's take a quick look at what we've got here. There's two arms that hold this on a base, and then the main part of the unit and the controls are on the screen that come out from the arms. On the left arm on the top, we've got a bit of a tactile round button. That's our power button. That'll turn on green light when we have the unit on. I'll turn that on in just a second. I'll show you the function of the buttons as we go through them, but I wanted to point out a few things before I turn it on here. We have a USB-C port on the left-hand side of the screen, the left side. An SD card port where you put in an SD card to put in pictures or take off pictures. You have, still going down the left-hand side, a rectangular button that has a circular icon on it, a black icon. That'll switch into the picture gallery to get your saved photos or get what's on that SD card. Just below that, there's a blue sort of partially triangular, partially rectangular button that has a little tactile line on it you can feel. That's going to be your lines and blinds. I'll show you how that works. I'm just going to run quickly through the front panel controls, tell you what those are, and then I'll show you what they actually do. On the left side, we've got the home button. We've got then the control knob, contrast color control knob. In the center, going across left to right, in the center we have our joystick for live and still panning, and I'll show you how that works. We have an actual zoom wheel for changing magnification, also as a touchscreen, so you don't have to use that, but a lot of people like the traditional wheel. And then an enter button on the far right side of the front panel. I'm going to turn it around to the right side of the screen. We've got another button right on the corner, kind of odd shaped button like the lines and blinds, only this one's orange with a circular white icon on it. And that's going to be your save and still picture. You press it once and you'll get still, you hold it and you'll save pictures, but I'll show you how that works. Then going up the right hand side from bottom to top, we have a rectangular white button, says AFL on it. That's your autofocus lock. And you've got a couple of oval buttons above that. That is your, the closest one to the autofocus button is your down volume. Then you have your up volume. And then just above that, you have an indentation you'll feel. That's the headphone jack. This doesn't have OCR speaking on it, but this menus do speak, and there are audible functions to it. So you might want a headphone jack for privacy. So it's a kind of quick overview of the physical features of the device. Why don't we turn it on and take a look at how it works. All right, let's go ahead and fire this up. So to turn it on, notice I'm just moving this around with one hand. It's so nice and light. I'm just going to long press the power button on the left side of the left arm up near the top. I'll get that on. Green light comes on, and the device is up and ready to go. I'm going to turn it to a contrast that I like a little bit better. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the basic features. First of all, you've got a 4K camera on this baby, and you've got a 12.5-inch full HD matte touchscreen. So you got matte, so you get less glare on it. You've got the full HD, really nice clear image, nice reading area, and you know, that's kind of your base thing. You need a magnifier that actually magnifies well. So here we go. Does good magnification. I've got a nice magnification wheel. Go way up, make some sounds if I want it to tell me when I've reached minimums or maximums. And now, if I don't want to do that, I want to get my hands dirty, I can just reach out, pinch and zoom. Now I've got pinch and zoom to magnify or minimize. It's real easy to do that. Okay, other kind of thing you expect on a magnifier, there should be contrast. So I'm going to get some contrast going. I've all sorts of different colors. I can long press on this button and I can get the menu that...
Customized color combination.
So I should explain, in the contrast knob there's a button in the middle, and one of the features is to long press that, and then you've got this menu that comes up, shows you all the different contrast colors. I just touch them to get the cross out of them or the slash out of them, and then they exist, or I touch them and they slash, or they put a slash across them, and then I don't have that contrast color anymore. So you can limit it to just the ones you want. Plus just in, in regular function, what you're going to do, I'll get back to mine. I like my white on black. So I got my white on black. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to read this in this color, and then when I get to something, in that contrast, when I get to something that needs to be color, like a photograph, or I'm doing something I need more depth of field, I'm just going to quick press that button that's in the middle of the contrast wheel, and that'll switch me quickly between my favorite contrast color and full color. It makes it real easy if I have a photograph. There's a lovely photograph of the gentleman here. Boop, I'm reading. Boop, press the button, and I'm looking at photographs. So that's a cool feature. So really it doesn't matter if you keep all the colors or not. It's easy to switch between them. One of the things, I guess we're going to start getting into the more advanced features of this. While this is the base CloverBook model, it's still a pretty darn advanced magnifier. One of the things that's really cool is for ergonomics, do we want to always be moving the material, or would it be nice if there was a way that we could not move it? Like say perhaps there would be a joystick on it, or we could move it from side to side, and then we wouldn't have to necessarily move around the material all the time. And say, how about that joystick also went up and down? So what I'm doing is I'm pressing on the joystick in the center of the control panel, and just whichever way I slide that joystick, it's going to move me in the material everywhere that the camera can see. So the more I magnify, the more I can move around and see things without moving the material. Now even easier, I can pan with my fingers. Touchscreen, baby, touchscreen. All we do, just pinch and zoom. Makes it super easy to move around. Zoom out, okay, I found what I want, okay, I want to zoom in. I do kind of a combination of move the material and move this just to minimize my movements and make it easy. It's simple to read through. The more advanced models take a picture of the whole thing and you can see it all at once and do some stuff. But for me, this is pretty handy to just be able to pan around and move around in the material like this. So then you also have, again, kind of more standard features that you'd expect.
Line mask on.
You have your lines and blinds. I press that button on the left bottom corner of the screen, and I've got a horizontal line that I can, press that button and hold it, and that'll allow me to move the reading line wherever I want it, or I'm using the joystick to do that, or I can change the thickness of the line. Same thing with the horizontal. I can move that guy around. Sorry, I have to press the button to do it, or I move my pan. I'm moving that left to right, and then I can also fatten or make that thin however I like it. Then we have blinds as well. You can make those big or small. You can move them around. A lot of real easy adjustments to
line mask off,
to only see what you want to see. So then, let's see, I really want to save this ad for some reason. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to press the freeze button. Now it's not going to save it, but that's going to freeze it, so I don't have to worry about it. I'm on a recipe or whatever. I've got what I need. I can just move around and see it. So that's kind of nice. But I also, let's say there's a recipe I want to save. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down that freeze button.
Image saved.
And it's going to save the image. And I can even put a voice on here. This is my favorite recipe, Yahoo. And it'll play it. I'm going to hold that up to the camera so maybe you can hear it because it's on a low volume. This is my favorite recipe, Yahoo. Not sure you can hear that. It does, I can crank that up so you can actually hear it. But I'll show you when we go through the menu. It's really handy to be able to look at those photographs and be able to have them actually visually identified that way. So pretty cool feature to be able to save the images, but then also be able to put voice memos on them. So if you can't read all the stuff, which isn't all that rare in low vision, you can just hear it. All right, so let's look at some of the other things we got going on here. So the power button, also I can long press it and turn it off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to
medium battery.
Short press it, and it shows me, I'll do that again, I don't know if you saw that.
Medium battery.
Gives me an icon on the screen, shows me the battery level. Looks like I need to be charging this guy pretty soon. But just give a short press on the power button to do that. Do a long press and it'll give you an option for sleep or turn off. And you just tap one of those and it'll do that. So let's take a look at the home button here. I just have to press this button, it's the left side of the control panel. If I do a short press, it gives me some light controls.
All lights off.
I can turn off the lights.
All lights on.
I can turn on the lights.
Bright light on.
I can turn on and off the right or left lights.
All lights on.
Independently. And then I can also change the brightness with a little slider on there. So that's if I short press the home button. And eventually that'll just go away by itself. A little thing pops up. Now I can hold this down, hold down the home button, and it'll give me my main menu. So I was already in Magnifier, that's your default.
Magnifier, near view.
Touch Magnifier and I'm in my Magnifier. I'm gonna long press it again, get back in there. And in here, I can go to Open.
Open.
I'll
Shared picture.
choose that. And I have a choice, straight in here. I have a choice in here to use the memory that's on the device, which I think you get a couple gigs on there, or I can put in an SD card and I have tons and tons of gigs of storage. You can share those, you can pull them in and out, move them around in here. And I'm going to go into the memory here.
Picture.
Go into the pictures. And then this is the one that I just saved. And I'll go back out of there so I can move around in this menu. I just quick pressed the home button. I can move back, I can move through the different pictures. I can change the rotation of them.
Rotate.
If I take a picture of something sideways.
Rotate.
Pretty cool little menu in there. So I'll go back, and in here, if I have a voice on them, then that is going to show there's a visual indicator of that.
This is my favorite recipe, Yahoo.
And when I press that, again, it's really quiet, but I can turn that up. Anyway, it's a real nice way to figure out what they are rather than trying to look at the image and say, I don't know what all that stuff is. Now I can just, oh, it's my favorite recipe, Yahoo. And then you can trash them in here, move them around, whatever. And then you can always hit the home button to go back, or there's a back icon that shows up on here. And you just back out, and you can go to the menu. You can also always long press on the home button, and that'll bring you back out if you don't know where you are.
Magnifier, near view.
That'll bring you back out to your magnifier so you can get back in action. I'm going to long press that home button again and get back into the menus. The last option is setting.
Option speech guide disabled.
So I've got all sorts of different things. I've got a speech guide I disabled and power saving. But besides that, I have voice label on. I can also get to the color combinations this way. If I don't want to long press on the button, I can go into the settings and do that. There's a tilt compensation. So the camera's tilted, it'll still straighten everything for you. Maybe you don't want that for some reason, turn that off. Then you have different voice settings. You can have female or male. You have a number of different languages to choose from. And you just choose that if you want to choose a different language. And then you have system reset and some other options in here that you hopefully don't want to touch too often. But if you did have a problem, you could just hit reset and reset the entire device back to default. So that is the settings and the menus. One of the things you might want to do under this device is try to write. I really like, for hobbies and things and for writing, let me turn this on color, I'll get a better depth of field. This might be where I would use the autofocus button, is what that's going to do. And when I touch that, there get to be some orange borders on the corners of the screen to indicate that that's on. But this will make sure that the camera doesn't focus on the pen and keeps focusing on the deck. Otherwise it'll focus on whatever's closest to the camera. But in this case, I want it to focus on here, so I can write on here but not focus on the pen. But I really like it because you've got this great angle. You're looking straight into the screen. Yeah, you're writing magnified, which is confusing enough, but you're not looking up somewhere else. You're looking straight down. The camera's right here. So it's really natural to write with this. You've got space in here to, you know, I've heard of people tying flies under here. You can do a lot of different hobbies and writing and things pretty easily on this. And then you can also change the screen angle and get up over it. You know, maybe you're working on a thick book or making notes in a Bible or something. So it's really versatile in positioning this device, both for reading as well as for writing. Okay, so we're all done playing with our CloverBook Lite. So let's pack it up. Let's see how easy this is. Just gonna long press the power button. That's gonna bring up two icons on the screen, sleep or shut down. Press shut down, makes a nice happy sound. Fold in the screen, fold the unit in on itself. There's the case. And it's all ready to go. Thanks for joining us today in the Irie-AT Product Review Center. If we can get you more information about the CloverBook Lite, please reach out to us. Give us a call at 1-888-308-0059 or email us at sales@irie-at.com or find us online at irie-at.com. Have a great day and be Irie.